Hey everyone, welcome to a new park showcase video. In this video I will be showing you a park that I made last year. I made over the course of a weekend when I could still make parks quite fast. I was inspired to make this after playing lots of Fallout. They're some of my favorite games, and I actually had lots of fun making this. It's a bit difficult to tell how many hours I spent of this because I changed the year, so it's now 21st of August year 2058. So yeah, I obviously didn't spend that much time on this park. Anyway, let's just go and check everything that's in the park. Let's start with the entrance. So at the entrance the guests are immediately greeted with security checkpoint. So yeah, lots of chain link fences, big sign saying security checkpoint. The C is missing. It probably fell off at some point, and it's a one-way entrance. Guests cannot enter from this side. There's no entry sign here, and on top of this area I put some patrolling security guards to keep out any low-life scum from the park. Something you can also see here is that I made some of these monster trucks. I put them on an invisible track with a chain lift on it, which I set to a high speed, so now they are driving around the park, and I think that's quite a cool effect. It's called Patriot Patrol. So yeah, guests get the opportunity to patrol the park, to watch out for any suspicious behavior, like this guy that's walking around here, called Suspicious Guy. I also made some hills here in the track which the cars jump from. Just another cool touch I like to add to the ride. Now, as you can see, this park is surrounded by a big fence made of coaster parts and stuff like that. It's actually supposed to look like a boarding material or whatever. I mixed it with some Giga Coaster track. I think it looks quite cool. It's quite crude, but I like the way it looks. If I would have made the park now, I would probably have made it look less clean, just to give it a bit more of a post-apocalyptic feel. Anyway, then when we enter the park, well, we see lots of buildings here. I tried to make them look, like they were built with scavenged materials, so lots of variety between wall textures and roof textures. And I think I succeeded in making these buildings look like they could fall apart anytime. So yeah, this park also had a story. It says, after their glorious victory in World War III, the last survivors of Earth decided to build an attraction park to celebrate, using all the materials they can find. So these guests are the last survivors of Earth, and they're celebrating with this park. So yay, we won the war. Anyway, here in the corner you can see this boomerang that I built. I actually merged it with some other tracks. So there's some pieces of mine train coaster track on here. Just because probably these pieces were missing, and the guests just rebuilt them using anything they could find. I think it gives quite a cool effect. Also just some color changes, some differently painted track colors. I think that adds to the effect. Now there's also splash boats right here. I actually merged it with some wooden coaster track here for the chain lift, and also some log flume track, so I could make some sharper turns in the track. Now as you can see, the water is green. It's probably not the best quality water. After the war, everything's probably a little bit radioactive. I also made these pipes that are, I think they are taking the water from this lake. And here you can see the end of the pipe emptying here in this little pond where the splash boat ride also is. Now you can also see some guard towers here in the park, all with security guards walking on top of them. You can also see some security guards here on top of the fence. I made some paths here on top of the fence and I put many security guards on top. They make sure that no lowlife scum gets into the park. And I guess they also keep an eye out for suspicious behavior inside the park. Now, I also built a mine coaster here. It also uses different types of track. Let me quickly change the weather to sunny. So for a big part of track it uses the junior coaster track along with some pieces of mine train track. Yeah, just like the boomerang coaster, I wanted to have some make it look like it was really put together with any materials guests could find. Now there's also some trail rides here. You can see a launched freefall here. I put a little Ferris wheel here. So I also gave them some custom stations, some station buildings. Also a top spin here. Here you can also see the entrance for the monster truck ride that goes around the park. Maybe a bit difficult to see, but yeah, I really dug it into the ground here, and using a tunnel it goes to the outside of the park. Now there's some shops and stalls here, and I also made this go-kart track here. It goes around. It's called Off-Road Racers. It goes around here on an invisible track with a little bridge over the other track. And I put some pipes around the track just to make it look like they look like a tire barrier around the track. I think this looks quite cool, also with the guard tower here in the middle. It's very simple, but I think it's quite effective. Now there's one last ride here that I want to show you. It's this miniature train called the Raider Railway. It goes around the park, even goes outside one time. And what's special about this ride is that I actually used some external tools just to mix some cars on this train. So you can see actually this car and the last car are actually open cars, and two of the cars in the middle are cars that have a roof above them. So yeah, it's quite tricky to actually do this. I may explain it later in the tutorial, but yeah, you need the Microsoft Visual Studio and the OpenRCT2 Tycoon 2 source code to do some tricks with the debugger. It's quite difficult to explain, but I may do that in an upcoming video. Anyway, yeah, this park was made in a little bit over a weekend, so yeah, there's not much more to see than this. If you want to see this park closely at your own pace, you can actually download it from my Discord server. The link to my Discord is in the description of this video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again in the next one. See you later.